have two short clips to play you tonight, both of which I suppose you would say are voicing the fears and concerns and opinions of two Irish girls. This lady here and a very young girl in Tallaght, in a little clip that was recorded back in 2023 when a child took to the streets and expressed her fears and concerns to members of An Garda Síochána and was ignored at a protest in Tallaght about personal safety and concerns about groups of men loitering in the streets, intimidating them, making them feel uncomfortable, making them feel afraid to leave their own houses or walk their own streets. The first clip, though, I'm going to show you is of this girl here. This clip was recorded in her car. Some people are questioning if it's real, if she's making this up, if it's fake. How can we know she's telling the truth? Well, who can say for sure? But let me ask you a question. As you listen to this clip, ask yourself this: have you ever felt like this yourself? Have you ever been in this position yourself? Can you identify with what this girl is saying? She's going to talk about being in her car and fearful about exiting and going into her place of work because there's a group of men loitering around outside her car and it makes her extremely uncomfortable. Okay, so while this whole push is on at the minute to take to the streets and protest against violence to migrants and racism and get it off the streets and everything else, how about we just take a minute or two and we listen to this girl's concerns and the concerns of a child that you're going to hear in a minute or two. So, as always, listen to what's said. Please, importantly, leave me your comments below, especially if you can identify with this. And you don't have to be a girl or a woman to identify with this. Many a person's been walking the streets at night and had a feeling as they pass a group of men and they're whispering and murmuring and maybe standing there, or teenagers with their hoods up, maybe feeling fearful for their own lives, especially if they're out walking on their own. So leave me your comments below if you can identify with this, and let's kick it off by hearing what this lady has to say.
I'm currently sitting in my car and I'm waiting to get out. This has happened to me probably about 3 times in the last 2 weeks, where I've pulled up outside where I work, and there's a group of males lurking around, and I really don't feel like I want to get out of the car. And now, because it's my 3rd time, I think they kind of maybe they know that they've seen me here before, so I feel like the stares are on me. I feel like, when you know somebody's staring at you, and I just really don't want to get out of the car. Obviously I don't speak their language, so I can hear them all speaking at each other. I have no idea what they're saying. It could be normal, how are you kind of stuff as well, but it's very, very intimidating. They're not really dressed great. They're dressed kind of hoods up and stuff like that, a little bit kind of intimidating. So I just don't really feel comfortable getting out of the car, and they don't look like they're up to any good, to be honest. And I'm not judging at all, but they're very, very loud. I don't know if you can hear them here in the background, but they're quite loud, and just, yeah, I'm not getting out of the car. And
let's just stop there for a minute. Let's give these people the benefit of the doubt. Let's say they're up to no good or they're up to no badness whatsoever. They have no bad intentions, but still the optics, the visuals, and the atmosphere is one of intimidation. You're walking past a group of men, they've got hoods up, they're speaking loudly, boisterous, in a language that you don't understand. By nature, your instinct is that your guard would go up. That's the same for anyone, I would imagine. So she's understandably upset, and she's thinking, is there a pattern forming here? This is the 3rd time that they've seen me coming up here. They know where I work now, and she's just really concerned. Can you understand that? Can you identify with that?
Be late for work now again by about 10 minutes because I'm not walking over to my workplace. First of all, I don't feel comfortable with them even seeing where my workplace is, but this is just not okay. It's not okay. And I think I am a very easygoing person. I'm very open-minded, but can they just not lurk around the streets? Please, can they not lurk around the streets? And even if they are absolutely fine and they're not up to any good, you can't do that. You can't intimidate people like that by staring at them and looking at them like that. And I'm actually very glad that I'm recording this right now, because they're getting closer and closer to my car. So maybe, hopefully, if they were to come up to my car and say anything, at least I have it on camera. But I'm just going to go now, make a run for it now in a minute. And you know what the worst part is? The homecoming was on last night for Tipperary, so there's not many people actually around the streets. The streets are pretty quiet. There's not many people here. Oh, I'm going to go.
So there you have it. This was most likely recorded after the weekends, All Ireland and Croke Park between Cork and Tipperary. That's what I'm thinking. So the location is uncertain here, but I would say that she's maybe in County Tipperary. Now, again, let me address something. Some people have said this is set up, this is fake, this is not real. And one of the things that they've said is that the steering wheel on the car is at the wrong side, but that's a common thing that happens if you have a mirrored screen recording on whatever device you're using. Everything is flipped over to the other side. So discount that. And even if she's lying about this, even if this is completely fabricated and made up in her case, ask yourself, did you nod along with some of that or all of that? Can you understand how she's feeling? Can you identify with some of the things that were said? Now, moving on to the next clip, and this is only 30 seconds long. Please listen to this. This is a young child. This is a young child who took part in a protest in Tallaght, which is where the Indian man was attacked. And now there's going to be street marches against racism and against violence to immigrants. This young girl was on the streets of Tallaght 2 years ago, and she was voicing her concerns and fears along with a group of other women from that area about men that had been moved into the area and were loitering around, making them feel uncomfortable, stalking them down the streets, and basically confining them to their own houses out of fear. So this is real. This did happen. There's no question about this one at all. So let's hear what this young girl has to say.
Answer why I'm scared to go to school. Do you? No, just roll your eyes up to heaven. Because I don't think you're going there.
We all need help, don't we, Holly?
So she's saying she's afraid to go to school. She's asking the guard, do you know why? And he says no, and rolls his eyes. She's calling him out on it. Look at all the size of her. Look at all the age of this young girl.
Huh? They're scared to go to school, scared to leave the house, scared to go out and play. What's summer going to be like when they're all dressed?
We want to be dressed up nice, but we can't. We can't anymore. You children, are you going to protect them? Exactly.
They're all waiting for your wives or your children to get raped and get taken or get murdered.
What?
There you have it, straight from a kid's mouth. What will happen now? Will she be labeled? Will she be labeled as an extremist? You know, again, can you identify with what's being said? Can you understand at least the concerns and the fears that people have, and how aggravating it is and how infuriating it is when people are concerned for themselves, for their families, and they're demonized whenever they bring these concerns and fears up, just speaking their mind. We're always told to express ourselves, to let people know how we feel. And then if the feelings are coming from a certain area towards a certain group of people, well, then no, you're just the worst of the worst. So can you identify with any of that? Leave a comment below. Share this video. Share these videos with people. And, you know, they don't have to like them. They don't even have to watch them, but just stick them out there and at least give people the option of finding out what's happening at the street level in Ireland. And for now, I'm Rick Munn. This is No Risk, No Reward Media. Over and out.